I'm all in.
All right. What's up, Al?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good.
I think we may have met years ago, Jason Teddy. I trooped in Bay City. And
Yeah.
Bayonet, all that crap.
Yep, that sounds familiar.
I've been in this building probably 15 years.
How old is this building? This building? Let's see, I started here in 99, I want to say maybe 95-ish.
Okay.
Sometime 95 to 2000. 95 to 99. Something like that.
Ken, is your first name Ken or Kenneth?
Kenneth.
You gotta be shitting me. Thank you.
Comes me all the time.
It's ETH.
Okay. Middle?
Middle name?
Yeah.
TWY. MAN.
How do you spell your last?
BLUEW.
Okay, your date of birth. What's a phone number I can reach you at? Cell?
Yep.
Is that department or person? All right. I'm sure you know the deal here. Al and I were called down just to assist with this scene. We got to talk to everybody, you know what's going on.
Absolutely.
You're probably going to have some questions for us too, and I'll do my best to answer them.
Been through this game a few times, so.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
have.
was a detective for almost 5 years, so.
Yeah. So it's nothing new to you, and I appreciate the fact that you know what the deal is, and you know we're just going through the motions here. In any case like this, especially because you were done at 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to read you Miranda, just as a matter of protocol. And I'm sure you're aware of them, but you know I got to read them.
Yep.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you before or during any questioning. If you want a lawyer but cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you at public expense. If you waive your right to remain silent, later wish to stop answering questions will stop. If you waive your right to have a lawyer present, later change your mind, the question will stop till you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand these rights?
I do.
Okay. Are you willing to give up these rights quickly?
Okay. Is that gonna do it all the time? Man, you are one important dude.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I'm just playing now.
Yeah.
Just messing around. I'll shut mine up too, so we can all behave.
Oops. This damn thing, I can't even make sense of half of it.
It's terrible when you're that important, huh?
I need to go back to one of those simple phones.
That's what I got. Nice and easy.
Half the shit on here I don't know how to use.
Great.
Basically, can you kind of run down, just tell me what happened tonight, what's going on here?
I was conducting general patrol. I'd been up in the area of the North Number Streets. We call them North Number Streets. It's area north of Wadsworth. Been in there a little bit patrolling around. I sat at 81 and outer for a while, working on the radar. And then there's a neighborhood to the north of 81, north of 81, west of outer. Little neighborhood back in there. I went back in there and kind of drove over, just general patrol. Come out onto Outer Drive, went north, took a pass through the businesses on Freeway Lane, and then come out and went north again up to where we have our range. As I started to pull up, I saw the vehicle sitting there. I hit it with my spotlight real quick, to see if I could see heads moving or popping up. Sometimes we get parkers up there and whatnot. They didn't see anybody move, so I went up, I turned, and then I turned back or turned around. It goes, outer drive ends, you guys were up there. There's that little drive there that leads to our range, and then that drive over there that leads over to the wastewater treatment plant. So I go up, turn around so that I can get a better angle on the car. So I drive in behind the car, focus the spotlight, and about that time, Tim's pulling up. So, you know, we kind of looked at him, he kind of looked at me and says, what do you think? He says, oh no. So he started walking up from where he was at, because he was still on outer drive. He was walking up towards the passenger side of the car, and I started to walk kind of towards the driver's side corner. And as I got closer, I saw the door open, the back driver's door was open. Took a few more steps, and I saw her laying on the ground. I saw the cord running to the top of the car. Oh my gosh. I yelled at Tim real quick. I said, hey, we got a body. Well, I took a step back. He come around the corner. He come around the car. He took a look. Oh, shit. So away we went. Yeah, we started doing our thing. And then Tim got a hold of Sean, and they started, so Sean said, I didn't tape it off, do your thing. Get some photos. So I started taking photographs. Went all the way around the car, and then, took a couple shots of the inside of the car, keys and ignition. It didn't look like it was in disarray too much. Purse was laying there, so pulled the purse out to ID the driver, and as I did, when I set the purse on the hood, the first thing I see was a folded up piece of paper. Okay. So I unfolded the paper and I read it. It was an obvious suicide note, and it was signed Jenny. It was all typed out. There was no writing on it, no ink on it. It was just all typed. Set that aside, went through the purse, found the wallet, opened the wallet up, went through the wallet, found the ID, and at that point I went, oh shit, I know this girl. So I stepped away, I looked at Tim, I said, I know this girl. I said, I know her. So I kind of just stepped back at that point and let everybody else take and do what they needed to do. Sean showed up, and the rest is history. Here we are.
Tim called Sean?
Yes.
Okay. How long did it take him to get out there?
Tim or Sean?
Sean.
God, I couldn't tell you. 45 minutes maybe.
I guess what I'm asking is, you guys had a chance to secure everything at that point and start processing what you could.
Correct. We taped it off. Tim grabbed tape, taped it all off. I did the photos, and then once that was done, we just kind of stepped back and waited for Sean. Wait for the detective to get there and turn it over to him.
Okay. The photos and stuff are those ones that were all turned over to Sean?
Correct.
Okay, so the back door was open. Was it ajar?
No, it was wide open.
Wide open? Okay.
There were no interior lights on, but the back door was open.
Okay.
It's like a four-door car, driver's door, rear door.
Mm-hmm.
All the other doors are closed except for the back door.
Okay.
Not the hatch, though.
Yeah, the side door and the back
There you
door.
go.
Okay.
When you were going out there, you said you were in the neighborhoods and stuff. Do you see any other cars in the area or anything? Especially outer, it's kind of dead ends.
Right. There's not usually a lot of traffic up there. We will get the occasional parkers up there. We will get the occasional dumpers, scrap dumpers and trash dumpers and stuff like that. We've got there's actually notice out to keep an eye on the whole north end, because people are just dumping everywhere. But the businesses, they're on a freeway lane. There's 3 or 4. There's one up on the hill and a couple in the back. They're all, it's just a normal route. It's just part of general patrol. Just checking the businesses. Excuse me, making sure that everything is clean and clear. And then one of the businesses up there is kind of like a truck dock. So there's traffic in and out. So seeing traffic on outer drive is not usually cause for concern on that side of town, because not only do you have those businesses, but just a step down, then you've got the Wolverine Human Services, the juvenile prison. So seeing traffic, but now once you get up north of there, there's nothing else up there but the wastewater treatment plant and then our secure range. So.
Okay. About what time was it that you were up there?
When I found the car, when I was up patrolling.
Yes.
It was just before we found the car. I mean, literally, it was, you know, I did the neighborhoods, I did freeway, and went north.
Okay.
You know, and, you know, Tim and I don't remember seeing him, but we must have had the same idea because he did virtually the same thing I did.
Okay.
I do know, I mean, I know that he come off of, I don't know whether or not he checked the neighborhoods or not, but I know he went over and checked the businesses off a freeway before he came north. Like I said, we pulled on. I had enough time to get up there, see the car, spotlight it quick, and turn around, and he was pulling up.
How long was Tim up there? Was he up patrolling the neighborhoods and stuff too?
I don't know. Never saw him.
Where's Freeway Drive? I'm not familiar with that.
It's north of the juvenile prison.
Going to the expressway, goes into
Yep.
the east,
Yep, that's the only way it goes.
and there's businesses in there.
Yeah, you do. When you guys drove up there, I don't know if you paid attention or not, but when you drive up there, the prison's here, and then there's like a trucking terminal. There's a business behind it. It's a new business. It's it's Michigan Recovery, the repossession company.
Oh, okay.
And then up on the hill is TCI Tire.
And they're all off this freeway
All
drive.
off Freeway Drive.
And you had driven in and around those businesses? Yes. Okay.
Actually passed the truck driver.
Okay. And then right from there up to the end of our, okay.
So in that general area, you were up there a matter of a few minutes, or were you up there half hour doing property checks and patrols, or?
All inclusive, probably, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. And during that time, you never saw any traffic going down that way?
No. Never saw any traffic coming southbound.
Okay.
They said, you know, when I pulled into the freeway there was a semi-truck parked, cab light on, guy walking around, so.
You talked to him or just
No,
saw him?
no, I drove by, drove around, saw him. I just kept driving. Yeah, that's, I mean, they're up there all the time, so.
Was there any calls going out in that area around that time?
No.
Okay, so pretty quiet.
Yeah.
You said when you first pulled down there, you saw the vehicle. Did you light it up right away, or was it just your headlights?
Just the headlights at first until I got within, I guess, spotlight range.
Okay.
You know, I was probably, if I had to guess, maybe 6, 8 car lengths, 10 car lengths, something like that.
Okay.
When I turned the spotlight on.
And that was before you turned around?
Yeah.
Where did you turn around at? Right at the
I went down, I went to the left, over the tracks, and it opens up over there, because if you go to the right, that's how you get to wastewater treatment. So I spun around real quick, drove back over the tracks, and pulled up.
Okay, I've never been down in there to the left to know what's down there.
And then you came up behind the vehicle?
Yeah. Well, like I say, when I pulled up, the vehicle's parked here. I would come in, I spotlighted it this way, drove around, did my loop, and I came up and I stopped here because I saw Tim pulling in. So I stopped here, my spotlight on the car, he spotlighted the car, and we both get out and walk up.
During that time, as you were approaching and you were lighting it up, you didn't see anybody around or anything like that? Okay. You said no interior lights were on in the car?
No.
Were the headlights on or anything?
No.
Was it running?
No.
Do you remember checking to see if it was warm, if it had been running, or would it look like it
When
been for a while?
Yeah, after we got the initial, after we found her and got the whole scene taped off, after I took my pictures, when I removed the purse and set it on the hood, I felt the hood. And, felt that it was fairly warm. I mean, it was warm. I wouldn't say it was screaming hot.
When was the last time prior to this that you were up checking that area?
Today I haven't.
Okay. You know if anybody else checked it today?
How many people were working? Just you and Tim?
It was me and Tim came out at 10 o'clock. It was me and Sarah.
Oh, okay.
It was me and Sarah until 10. And then,
You guys work 12-hour shifts?
we work 12s, but Mondays and Tuesdays we have a short day, so we stay at the 80 hours instead of 84.
Okay, so what was your shift last
My
night?
shift was 6 to 6.
6 to 6.
Yeah, my short day was Monday.
I think I know Sarah. What's her name?
Sylvester.
Also working 6 to 6.
She was actually, I believe, working 12 to 12.
Oh.
She was working a modified shift because she was doing some code enforcement stuff. 12 p.m. to 12
Midnight?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Noon to midnight.
All right.
Sorry.
And Tim came on at 10?
Yes.
Anything suspicious about the car as you approached?
Mm-hmm. Other than the door open.
Did you see the door open when you pulled up behind it, or not until you walked up to it?
When I pulled up, got out of the car, I saw the door open, but I couldn't see anything past that. All I could see was the door was open, so we started walking towards the car, and as I got closer, that's when I saw her.
So when you came up on the driver's side, Tim was going around the passenger side. He obviously couldn't see her then, right?
Correct.
Okay. Because he parked on outer,
Yes.
approached from outer. You approached from the left. What's the name of the road there?
It's actually Hack Road.
Hack Road, wastewater treatment road. Okay. And only the door was open, no lights on, car wasn't running, nobody around. When did you first see the body?
I don't think I quite made it to the bumper of the car yet.
Okay.
It was close, but within a few steps of the bumper, maybe.
Okay, so you didn't see a body as you were getting out of your car walking up. It wasn't until you got right up on there until you knew what you had. And what did you see? Tell me about what you saw there.
Well, I had my flashlight out, and as I walked up, I saw the door. I kind of did a peek inside, just to, see if anybody was laying there, I guess. And then I went down, and as I went down, I saw her laying there, and that's when I saw the cord running, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I got a little closer, I looked, saw the cord was around her neck, followed the cord up, saw it was attached to the luggage rack. I'm like, oh boy. So I called, that's what I told Tim. I said, hey, we got a body over here.
After you told Tim you got a body, then what did you guys do?
He came around, did basically the same thing. Checked everything, checked it all out, and then we backed away. He got on the phone with Sean, and you know, Sean said, tape it off and start taking photos. So we just went into that mode and started doing what we had to do.
Did you guys check for vitals? Was it, I mean, why not?
I don't know. I guess probably not to disturb. Well, I mean, there was no movement, you know, and when I looked, there was, I mean, from a distance, there didn't appear to be any chest rise. You know, I mean, lips were kind of bluish. I mean, it wasn't giving me the impression that it was, you know, that she was alive. So.
So when you started taping it off to protect the scene, was that just protecting the area around the body, or was that the whole vehicle? Because
The vehicle and everything.
Okay. And Tim called Sean?
Yes.
Now tell me about processing the vehicle, what you guys did there.
Like I said, after I took the pictures, I removed the purse. I entered through the passenger side front door, removed the purse, set it on the hood of the car, and then began to go through the purse. As far as anything else within the interior of the vehicle, none of that was, other than a cursory look around, none of it was touched.
Okay.
Did Tim go inside the car?
I don't believe so.
And what was the purpose of grabbing the purse and looking through the purse?
To identify the driver, to identify the person with the vehicle. I think Tim had already run the plate and came back to a male subject, and obviously that wasn't a male subject. So.
Do you remember who the plate came back to?
I think it was Donald Webb.
And that's when once you saw the ID, that's when you realized you knew the person? And Tim did not go in the vehicle, right?
I don't believe he did, though.
Was Sean there when you guys were doing the vehicle?
No.
So after that point, what happened?
Sean showed up and took control of the scene from there. He performed his own inspection. I'm not sure if I or Tim. I don't remember who gave him. I think I did. I think I gave him the note and the ID. And he went up, did his look around, got on the phone with the medical examiner, did his MESI stuff, and basically we just kind of stood by at that point. There came a point in time, and I don't remember the exact time, but I got called away to help Sarah out on a beanie. It was a fresh beanie that she thought she had somebody inside the house. So Sean says, "You go. Tim and I'll stay here and wait for the funeral to show up."
Okay.
Did you go back then? Had you been back up there then after you got called out to help Sarah?
No, I didn't.
You didn't, okay. So were you there when the vehicle was towed or any of that stuff? Okay. Were you there when the body was brought back?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the assist to Sarah, I went over to Henry Gore School for an alarm over there. Walked around that, checked that building out, and I had to pull my daily to see where I went after that.
So you saw that note before you saw her ID?
Yes, the note was laying folded up right on top of the purse. The purse was open. It was a big, the purse was probably that big.
Okay.
It was open like this, and the note was laying right on top.
Okay. So in the purse, but on top of all the contents in the purse. All right. Do you know who did the notification to the next kin?
I assume Sean did. It would have been his scene. He was in charge, so.
At that point, Sean knew that you knew her, right?
Yes. When Sean arrived, I told him that I knew her.
Do you know her family? Tell me about how you knew her.
I met her, probably more than 10 years ago. When I first started out here, just in my normal duties, we would do bar checks, and she used to frequent the Backstreet Bar over in Holland. I got to know the waitresses and the people over there. She was in there. We got introduced. We just talked. Started up a casual friendship and been touch and go ever since. We talk for a while and then we kind of do our own thing and go our separate ways. And out of the blue, she'll call me or I'll call her. And, hey, what's going on?
Was she working there, or was she just a patron?
Just a patron.
Okay.
She knew most of the people that worked there. I am probably 30, between 30 and 35. I don't know her exact birthday. I don't remember from seeing her ID, so.
Is she a local gal?
The last I knew she lived in the city, but I know that she had gotten broken into a few times recently. She called and told me that, and it was my understanding that she had moved back in with her parents.
Okay. Do you remember where in the city?
No.
Where do her parents live?
No clue.
Do you know if they're in the area or?
They're in the area. I think it's somewhere in Bridgeport, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the address is or anything like that.
When was it she was broken into?
She's been broken into 3 times in the last. I want to say the first one was April or May.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
So it's pretty recent stuff?
Yeah, they were all in 2011. They were all summertime of 2011.
Is that why she moved in with her parents?
That's what she did. That's what she told me. I mean, she told me she just couldn't stand to live there anymore. She was just, she just too afraid.
Any idea how long she's been living with her parents?
No.
And she told you about these break-ins. Did she tell you right after they happened, or is this just?
The first one, no. The first one was, I don't remember. It was a short time later, not much. The second one, I think I talked to her the day after that. And, she was like freaking out. She was like, what am I going to do? She was crying. And I mean, she was not in a good frame of mind. I mean, she was just, you could tell she was really scared.
You know much about it? I mean, was it something where home invasion, she was home, or was it
No,
she was gone?
No. She means this, which I remember saying, thankfully I wasn't here when it happened.
Okay. So she didn't get hurt or
No.
robbed or anything? Just
No.
the place was being eaten?
Correct.
How often did you talk to her?
It varied. I mean, it could be, sometimes it was once or twice a day. Other times it was once or twice a week.
Okay. And over the last 10 years?
Oh, it was on and off. I mean, there was quite a while where we didn't talk at all. She was doing her own thing and I was doing mine. And, like I said, it wasn't anything that we just, that we had to talk to each other every day or anything like that.
Was she married, have kids, anything like that?
She was not married, but she was pregnant.
Boyfriend?
Not one she spoke of.
She in trouble with any drugs or anything like that?
Not that I know of. Drank a lot, or drank frequently. I wouldn't call her alcoholic, but drank frequently, but I'm not aware of any drug use.
Was she working?
As far as I know.
What did she do? Where did she work?
No idea. some kind of parts supply place or something or other.
Like auto parts?
I don't know. I don't have any idea what kind of parts they were. I just remember saying something about having to ship out orders and stuff like that, so.
When was the last time you talked to her?
She called, actually, last night. She called me. Didn't leave a didn't leave a message. She leave a message? Yeah, she did. She left a message to say, hey, what's up? Give me a call when you can. Something like that. And I called her back, I don't know, sometime around 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. And I didn't get an answer from her.
Did you leave her voicemail or anything?
No.
Did she call you back?
No.
What was her mood or demeanor last time you talked to her?
Not normal. Usually she was a pretty happy, jovial person. She just, I don't know, said she was tired, wasn't feeling good, but it's just uncharacteristic for her. Usually when we talk, she's just, bouncing off the walls. Yeah, this is going on and that's going on, and yada, 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 but it's been like that for a few months now. When she talks, just something different about her. I guess I just chalked it up to, the stress of getting broken into and getting back with her parents or in her parents' house or whatever, and, being pregnant. My wife was pregnant, many years ago. She was moody too, so I guess I just kind of let it go with that.
Okay. So Jim, that was a question. When was the last time you actually talked to her?
Yesterday. Well, it would have been the day before yesterday now, but.
Today's now Wednesday.
It would have been.
During the day Tuesday?
No, would have been, I think, Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I chatted with her briefly on Monday.
She call you, you call her.
Don't remember.
Okay.
I think she called me, but I won't swear to that.
During these times, you said her mood kind of changed. She mentioned anything specific that she's having problems with?
No, not really.
What about her health?
She never made mention of anything.
Okay. When's the last time you actually saw her in person?
It's been a while. Three weeks or so, maybe.
Okay. And what was the context there?
She was on her way back from somewhere. She was out with some of her friends, I guess, or something or other, and called to see if I was working, and I said, yeah. And she said, hey, let's see you for a minute. So we met, talked for a few minutes, and she went home.
Okay. Where was that at?
Where did we meet at? Mm-hmm. Oh, good Lord. I think I met her out at the tire place out at 46. There's a tire shop out there, and I met her out there, just in a parking lot. Went kind of door to door, talking.
Was she with friends then?
No, she was alone.
that time, did you notice anything different about her? I mean, was it her appearance different?
No, appearance-wise, she looked normal. She seemed tired.
How often did you guys see each other personally?
As far as like when I'm not working personally, or
Anytime.
in person?
Yeah, in person.
As of recently, I'd say maybe once, twice a month.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 3 times a month.
What's recent? I mean,
Within the last few months or so.
do you notice any change in her?
No, I mean, like I said, she didn't seem the same person that I remembered her being. She seemed more stressed, tired all the time.
Was that, I mean, when you guys saw each other, what did you do? What?
Talked for a few minutes.
Okay. Is it a lot of times when you're working? Was it personal time?
No, it's always when I was working.
Okay. Where did you normally see her at?
Usually, just at a random parking lot.
Okay.
You know, somewhere in town.
And it was just to stop and chew the fat.
Basically, yeah.
Where was it in the city that she lived?
I don't know.
I mean, was it somewhere on the east side, west side?
I don't think it was on the east side.
And I guess what I'm getting at is, if she's calling you to see if she can meet to talk to you, was she coming from long distance, or did she have business over here where she'd stop by and talk to you?
She had a lot of friends that, scattered all over the place from what I understood. I never met any of her friends. She never showed up with any of her friends or anything like that. So she lived fairly close, but I don't know. I don't know where she lived.
What kind of car did she drive?
That one is her regular car. I didn't recognize it at the time.
Okay.
There's a lot of those cars, and it, like I said, wasn't focusing on the vehicle per se. I was trying to look inside the vehicle. I was looking past most of the characteristics that would ordinarily stick out, because I was busy focused on what was possibly inside or what could be inside. It didn't dawn on me until, like I said, started, putting pieces together, and then I was like, okay, this is her car.
Well, anytime you're coming up to a car at night and on a dirt road, you're not really paying attention to the car.
I'm not looking at...
You're looking to see what's inside, so
Correct.
you don't get hurt. Any, obviously you don't know anything about drugs or You said she never mentioned anything about health. Did she ever make mention of being on any prescription meds, or was she seeing a therapist or anything like that?
Just going to her doctor's appointments for her pregnancy. But as far as like the psychologist or anything like that, nothing I'm aware of.
Okay. What did she tell you about the pregnancy?
Not a whole lot. When I see her, usually the first question is, hey, how you feeling? How's it going? Everything good with you and the baby? That kind of stuff. It's none of my business. So I didn't want to pry into her personal life that much. So I just, whatever she volunteered to tell me is what she told me, and usually it wasn't much.
But everything seemed to be going okay with it?
As far as her health was, yeah.
What'd she tell you about baby's daddy?
She didn't. Never said anything about it. He said I wasn't aware that she was dating anybody, but,
So that's something she would have told you?
No, not really.
How'd she seem about being pregnant? I mean, you said her health was good and all that kind of stuff, but...
Whenever I would ask her, hey, how are things going, I pretty much got the answer, baby's healthy and I'm doing good. And she kind of left it at that. Not typical for her. Like I said, she was usually a bubbly, outgoing person, talked all the time about anything and everything, and it just, it just seemed different. She was just more reserved.
Like you mentioned, your wife was pregnant one time and she got moved. It's hard to tell sometimes if gals are having a hard time, they got all those freaking hormones going and all that crap. And if it's not somebody that you see a lot of times, you may not notice the change as much.
Well, like, other than just an overall appearance of being down and tired, it's, just not her normal runabout self.
Was she taking care of herself, though?
As far as I know.
Okay. I mean, you didn't see where she was neglecting herself or anything like that?
It appeared to be.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier, Ken, that she drank quite a bit. Was she still doing that while she was pregnant?
And not to my knowledge.
Okay, you think she changed that a little bit?
I would hope so, but I don't know.
She ran around a lot and had a lot of friends. Do you know some of her friends that might have some insight on how she was feeling, or?
I don't know any. I mean, all I know is her. I don't know any of her, her associates or friends or anything like that. Whenever she would stop out to see me, she never brought anybody with her.
So you've never met any friends of hers?
I guess I can't say never, because when she was frequenting the back street,
Oh,
there were
they have
people.
been in there.
Well, she was friendly with the wait, with the wait staff, but.
Said she moved in with her parents. I'm assuming they're both alive. Do you know if she had brothers or sisters? She ever mentioned being close to anybody like that?
I think she had a sister.
Older, younger?
Did she ever talk about she was close with her sister? I mean, did that, or just remembering a sister?
I think the way it sounded, she was pretty close to her sister.
I guess I'm trying to figure out what would cause her to do this. I mean, it sounds like she was a pretty happy person. Sounds like she was comfortable with the pregnancy, and sounds like she was employed. You didn't notice any big changes in her. Any thoughts on that?
No. I mean, when I read the suicide note, it seemed to me that there was more there than she was letting on. At least, when she would talk to me, it just seemed like there was more that she was dealing with than what she told me.
Do you remember what she was talking about in the suicide note? Some of the things that she was talking. I don't have it here in front of me.
They talked about the robberies. It talked about the pregnancy. It talked about being sorry. I can't recite it for you, but they talked about being a failure and something about lying to people.
What would she be lying about?
I don't know.
I remember it said something in the note about the pregnancy, and I think the name was Chris. Does that ring a bell?
I think I do remember seeing something in there about that.
Okay. Does that name mean anything to you? And the obvious question is, did you have a relationship with her, or is this just something where you guys were just friends?
A physical relationship? No.
Okay. You mentioned your wife. Are you currently married now?
Okay. I actually have two of my neighbors that are close friends of mine that both have daughters. That are like, if what Dad doesn't see, Uncle Kenny will, so.
Uh-huh. So that when you talk to her, well, the phone calls, Monday, did you say 8, Monday night?
No, it was during the afternoon.
Okay, but you guys never talked to each other, it was just trading phone calls?
What are you talking about?
I guess I'm not clear, that's what I'm asking.
The last time, well, Al asked when the last time I actually talked to her, where I spoke to her.
Okay.
I believe it was Monday, and it was Monday afternoon. Yesterday, she called and left me a message, hey, what's up, I'm passing through, if you got time to stop, something along those lines. I called her back a few minutes later, hey, what's going on? She didn't answer, just to say, hey, what was going on, but she didn't answer the phone, so.
Okay, that's what I was confused on. But she never called you back.
And like I said, I was just gonna send her a hey back, hey, what's going on? But she didn't answer the phone, and I didn't bother to leave a message. I figured, caller ID nowadays, she would know that I called, and if she had time, she'd call me back, but I never heard from her.
What did you guys talk about on Monday when you saw her or talked to her?
Just chit chat. Hey, what's happening? Because I think Monday was my late day. I worked Monday night, but I didn't go until 10. She asked what I was doing, and I said that just get ready to take my kid to football practice, get him ready. Go on to practice.
Did she tell you what she was doing that day, or make any mention about how she was feeling or anything like that?
No, I think she said she was at work, but other than that,
unusual.
No. It wasn't a very long conversation, a couple minutes maybe.
She never talked about a boyfriend or anything? Was she friends with anybody else here at the department?
At one time, she was friends with Kevin, but I don't think Kevin Kratz.
You gotta help me out, Kevin.
Kevin Kratz, he's a sergeant now. Like I say, at one time, way back when I first met her, Kevin and I would occasionally go into Fact Street together to perform our bar checks and whatnot. So she gave me, I would say she knows him, but whether they stayed in contact or not, I don't know.
I was a little bit confused now. I wanted to clarify that for some reason I got the Monday-Tuesday mixed up. He actually talked to her last on Monday, but Tuesdays was just messages back and forth. They never really talked to each other in person. Yeah, on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So I was just a little confused on that. just going back over things, anything that I left out we should cover?
Not really.
Now, did you do a report yet, or do you need to do a report yet, or?
My report's done.
Okay. Now, who's gonna handle all the evidence and all that stuff? Is it all Sean now?
I presume so, yeah.
Okay. So you're done with it? One of my concerns is obviously we got to talk to you and Tim because it was brought up that you knew this gal. And I've got some questions. When you come up and you see the vehicle and stuff, and there's a lot of vehicles like that, I guess. I understand that. Sounds like you knew her pretty well. I mean, well enough to recognize her.
Okay.
And it just, you hear the plate, you get the note out, you see the name on it, and then you see her ID. What were you thinking? What was going through your head?
Well, as I'm starting to hear all of this stuff, I'm going, the first thing that went through my head is, can't be. And as I'm doing that, I'm going through her bill folder or whatever it was. There's her ID, and I'm like, oh, shit, it is. So,
How did you not recognize her when you first walked up?
I guess that's what I'm asking, yeah.
Well, given the position that she was in, and it was, that's the hard part, is she was laying on her back, but the way her head was twisted, it just, and when I saw the body, I went, okay, body, I go into work mode. Anybody else around? Is there anybody else in the car? Start looking around. No? Okay, everything's good. Got a body, Tim. And, he came over and took a look. Until I started going around doing all this other stuff, the pieces started falling in line. I said, she's, got a bunch of stickers on the back of her car. I didn't see those at the time I first pulled up on the car.
The contacts you had with her, is that the vehicle she normally drove?
Usually.
Does she have any other vehicle?
I don't know.
Are you aware of any other vehicles?
When I've seen her, it's always been in that one.
It's always been in that vehicle when you've seen it, okay. You say stickers on the car, what?
Like on the back, just...
Oh, like bumper stickers and stuff displayed on it? Okay.
But like I said, I was, it's like I told him, I said, when I pulled up on the car, I was looking inside for bodies. I wasn't looking at the outside of the car for decorations.
And the stuff that she was wearing tonight, is that typical of what she'd wear when you saw her?
Yeah, it looked like
nothing unusual?
No.
That just doesn't sit right with me either. And I don't mean to sound like an ass. I'm just thinking, how would you not recognize her? It's just odd.
Yeah, you just kind of go into cop mode at that point. It's just, okay, what do I got to do? Start running through your head. What are the things that need to be done? Once I walked up, I saw that there was a body there. I took, a quick flashlight, went like that. Tim, we got a body, and he came over, checked it. I backed away. We started doing our thing. He got on the phone with Sean right away and started doing our thing. Once we started going around the car, and pieces started to fall into place, and it's like, I'm thinking to myself, it can't be. It can't be.
But
I know what you're saying.
But you got a good enough look at her to see that her chest wasn't rising and falling, that her lips were blue.
Right. I said, I mean, that's not a position that I ever see her in. That's not how, I mean, when I see her, she's got her hair done, you know, I mean, all of that, you know. I don't see her in a disheveled state, so.
What's going on with your eye there? I'm not gonna get pink eye, am I?
No. I was wrestling, I got a pup at home that's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. I was wrestling around with her, and she got me with one of her claws.
What kind of dog you got?
She's a Catahoula Bulldog.
What the hell is that?
What?
It's called a Catahoula Bulldog. It's a cross between an American Bulldog and what's called a Catahoula Leopard Dog.
Oh, a leopard dog.
It's a descendant of, a distant descendant of the Bull Mastiff.
Oh, okay.
They originally brought him in Louisiana for hunting, and somehow or another they decided to crossbreed him with an American Bulldog, and that's what I ended up with.
So that's a pretty good sized dog.
She's not. She's only about 50 pounds.
Well, is she mature though?
Yeah, wait.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's got lots of energy, and, you know, we were playing and wrestling around, and she got me.
How long ago?
Huh?
How long ago did that happen?
Just before work today.
Oh, okay.
What'd you call that dog again?
A Catahoula Bulldog.
Catahoula?
Yeah, saying it's Catahoula.
Never
Got her
heard
to
of
pound.
it. Oh, yeah.
Got her to pound. Yeah. And then my other one, my older one, he don't like to play too much anymore. He just stands around and barks when we're playing. He's getting old.
Yeah, it looks pretty rad. Did you get it checked or?
No, I said it happened just before work.
You need to have a workman's comp claim.
Nah.
And you said just before work, you work 6P to 6A today?
I left my house right around 5. I usually leave about an hour early.
What did your wife say?
She was still at work. She doesn't even know.
Is he rough with your boy too? Or is she rough with your boy?
No, actually not. She behaves around him. She likes, I've trained her well, but I like to play with her because I like for her to burn off the energy.
Well, that's why I like big dogs. I mean, those little ones I got no use for.
Yeah, I've got her, she's running about 50 pounds, 50, 55, and then I have another one that's running 80 pounds, so.
Does it bother you at all?
The eye tears up every once in a while.
What, is your wife probably left for work?
What time is it?
8.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to have her worried.
She knows I told her I was here.
Okay. What's your boy do during the day?
Sleep.
Is he old enough to stay at home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's 11.
See you home today when you were wrestling around with the dog?
No, he left for practice. I couldn't go to practice today. I'm a coach.
Right, it's football season already.
That's right. So one of my neighbors is also a coach. His kid also plays. So he swung by and grabbed my boy, and then went to practice because I can't be there because I got to work.
When you light up a car, use both your spotlights, or you just use one? And what do you guys have? Do you have alley lights and you got white ones on top, or what do you got?
Yeah, there's white alley lights, and then there's white takedown lights, and then the red and blues.
Okay, so do you have the takedown lights on too? Just a spot?
Okay.
No other overhead?
Just the headlights
in
and
the
the
spot? Okay. What about Tim?
Yeah, it was just headlights and spotlight too.
And coming up to this, you were on patrol and doing property checks up there. Did you have any calls, make any traffic stops?
I think I had two calls before all this went down. 1 or 2 calls. And no, I didn't make any traffic stops.
Okay. Was this something you pulled reports on?
No.
Was it dispatch stuff? I mean, dispatch calls?
Yeah.
You remember what they were and where?
No, it's on my daily.
What's your call sign?
604. One of them was I do remember one of them was a stray dog on the highway that appeared injured.
Okay. I saw a fox on Outer Drive tonight.
There's people running around.
Sean, and then occasionally up there on the other end, there's seen coyotes in there too. But that connects right in the Crow Island State Game area, doesn't it?
Lots of deer up there.
Are there?
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you guys have contact with anybody, whether it be a traffic stop or, somebody flags you down, is that stuff that you guys put on the daily, all your contacts?
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Okay. And how do you guys, and I'm asking because things have changed since I worked down here. Is it all MDT stuff now, or do you get stuff by radio? Okay, you get both?
If you get a radio call, it'll come across the radio and it'll pop up on your screen. If you generate a traffic stop, you can generate the stop directly to the computer, or you can call the stop and have Central do it for you.
Okay. And how do you usually do it?
My traffic stops?
Yeah.
Usually I just punch them into the computer unless I get an inky feeling about something. Or if I don't, if I get, somebody's getting out of the car on me right away or something like that, I'll call it in. But usually I'll just type it in the computer.
And is that to run somebody, or you just do your stop on that?
That's how you initiate it by, you put in the location and the plate, and it generates a call for you.
Okay.
And then you obviously have to switch to a different screen to actually run the plate. Well, I should say to view the information, because once you run the plate, when you put in the stop location in the plate, it automatically runs through Lean that plate and gives you the registered owner.
Right.
Got it. But it also generates the call.
Okay.
So that everybody else on the county or on the screen and Central can see that you're on the stop.
Okay. And does that also, I know we're going to be going through this finally, does that also do your daily for you?
No.
Your daily is a ham jam?
Yep.
Okay.
Be nice to go to a computer daily.
Yeah, it sounds good, but we've got a few troops that are doing it, and it's like anything. You gotta work out the bugs. So when you came up on this vehicle, did you call it out, or did you run the plate and MDT? What did you do?
When I pulled up, I flashed the vehicle with my spotlight. I didn't see any movement inside the vehicle. So at that point, I figured either somebody's out walking around or the vehicle's abandoned. So I spun around, came back, and I hit the spotlight on it again from a different angle. Tim pulled up. He hit the spotlight. We got out of the car, walk up, do our thing. He called out that we were with the vehicle, and then he called out that we had a 49 or suicide.
You had one or two dispatch calls around that time, just prior
to,
yeah. But no traffic stops, right?
No.
Remember doing any property checks, any specific ones?
I was all over the place. I did property checks. I did property check at Robin Glen. I did property checks up on the Wolf Road area, Wolf and Sawyer, up Business District north of 81. Trucking district, we got information that they were, stealing truck batteries out of the semis, so kind of playing extra patrol up there. I was in the South Number streets for a while. I get into an area and I drive around for a little bit, and if I don't see anything that draws my attention, I log in as property check and move on to the next area.
When was the last contact you had with other officers?
Probably 7:45, 8 o'clock, somewhere in there. Sarah and I were here, had a bite of lunch.
You ate lunch here?
Yeah, we were over in the fire department again. She and I went in together and got a pizza and some breadsticks, and we were sitting over at the fire department eating.
Is that when you had the voicemails going back, or the calls going back and forth between you and Jenny?
I think it was after that. When I left here, that's when I had the voicemail from her, right around there.
And where were you going when you left here?
Driving. No, I didn't have any specific place to go.
So you hadn't talked to any other officers after that, and you only had the 2 dispatch calls, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
But no traffic stops. Okay. So fill me in on those 3 hours.
Just, like I said, I spent my time driving around. I was in and out of neighborhoods, checking businesses. I had those, I think it was 2, I don't remember what the second one was, 1 or 2 radio calls. Came back here for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And ate with Sarah, and then took back out, just out hunting around, if I saw something to stop, go looking for something to do.
Saginaw still do radio checks?
Yep.
How often they do those?
I couldn't tell you. Sometimes it seems like they're doing 4 an hour, and sometimes they're not doing them for 4 hours, so.
Okay. Were they radio checking you tonight?
Yeah.
And they truly check your status over radio, they don't do it over MDD,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. How often were they checking tonight?
Seemed more sporadic. Maybe once an hour. But they won't check you if you tie yourself up on something, if you create a call or
Yeah, if they know you're on call.
dispatch a call or some, well, but then once you clear that call, if you're in line for a radio check, they'll skip you. And they'll do you the next time around because, well, they just had contact with you. They knew you were okay because, you know, of your activity in the computer, so.
Before I forget, that note that you found,
Mm-hmm.
was that protected for prints?
As far as I may have touched it, a corner of it,
What do you mean?
when I picked it up and handed it to Sean. I don't know if I had gloves on.
Picked it up from,
The car.
oh, you said you had it on the hood of the car?
Yeah, I'd taken it out of her purse or off the top of her purse, unfolded it, and laid it on the hood of the car.
No, when you got it, her purse out and stuff, would you have had gloves on then?
Yeah, I had gloves on then,
Okay,
but when I took it to Sean, I don't think I had gloves on.
okay. Did anybody else handle it? Did Tim handle it at all? He touched the note?
I want to say yes, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I think he might have.
Anybody else touch it that you know of?
I have no idea.
Did you guys bag it?
I don't know what Sean did with it.
Okay. When you say gloves, what kind of gloves?
Rubber, latex.
Latex gloves, not
Yeah.
patch gloves or anything like that, really latex gloves. Root beer.
Oh.
And my teeth are floating. Do you guys mind if I take a second?
No, I've been on the phone more than I've been here, so.
Excuse me, just please, you need anything?
Sound good?
Probably football, sleep. Where's the pisser at?
There's one right around the corner to your left. Go through the door, in between the double doors.
Just sitting here listening through all of this, I got some questions that I can't help but come to the forefront. Jennifer Fagan, who was the father of that child?
I have no idea.
Is there a chance that you're the father of that child, Ken?
None. None. Never slept with her.
You've never had a sexual relationship with her?
No.
Is there any reason that she would have told people that you were the father of that child?
Not that I know of.
She has.
Come again.
She has told people that you're the father of that child. Her family was well aware of who the father of that child was. Didn't know you personally, but was well aware of what your name was, where you worked, what you did, and everything.
Wow.
No possibility of that?
None.
I mean, that's real easy for us to determine, obviously. But, you know, and now's the time to get that out, if there is. I mean, stuff like that happens. We all know that. We're all big boys in this room. We all know that stuff like that happens. But yeah, that's a concern that I've got is,
I don't know why.
her family knew she was expecting, obviously. Apparently due very soon,
I knew
3
she was
weeks.
expecting.
Yeah, and they were was apparently no questions at all about it. They were fully aware. Ken Bluew, police officer, Buena Vista Township Police Department, was the father of the child. They didn't know much about you. They never met you. But they were fully aware that you were the father of the child. By name, occupation, where you worked, and everything, Ken.
Wow. Well, that would explain why we're doing this. I'm not the father of the child. I've never had sex with that woman.
Okay. All right. Well, that's, like I said, that's one of the big questions that comes up. Ken, if you are in this room between the three of us, we need to know that. Obviously, as this investigation goes on, we will be able to determine who the father of that child is. And you know, as well as we know, when you're doing an investigation, if somebody lies to you about some insignificant or rather insignificant issue, you got to ask the question about why. You know, why would that happen? Why did that happen? So it may be a little bit uncomfortable, it may be a little embarrassing or whatever, but are we going to make that determination? Is it going to be determined in our investigation? I mean, we will determine who the father of the child is. And when that's all said and done, is the answer that we get from our labs going to say it's Ken Bluew too?
I don't think so. I haven't had sex with her, so.
Well, you don't think so, or you do that? I mean, you know or you don't. I mean, there's one way that a child is conceived, that's right.
I haven't had sex with her.
Okay. Absolutely no way possible that you could be the father of the child?
Correct.
Ken, it's also our information that this morning there was quite a period of time that nobody could get a hold of you, or last night rather.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get you on the radio, different ways, through the MDT and through different ways, they couldn't get a hold of you, couldn't get any response.
About 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we talked I thought it was a little bit longer than that, but we don't have the records on that yet, but there was apparently some period of time nobody could get a hold of you. Any idea why that would have been?
I had my radio on the other channel.
Which channel would you have?
Our admin channel. I had talked to Sarah before that.
Change from your main dispatch, you change over to admin?
Correct.
Now, when they do the alert tone thing, does that come over?
Not unless it's on scan, and it wasn't.
Oh, that's the only way it comes across.
Correct.
Yeah,
If it's on scan, it'll scan.
I'm not familiar with the radios that you guys have with central dispatch even now, because I don't have one, so. Everything. What's in your arm? Your forearm there.
Probably from where I was wrestling with the dog.
Can you take a look at this? You got any other marks or injuries or anything from the dog?
Just back in the eye.
Can you take your glasses off so I can get a little better look at your eye there? It's right on the inside corner.
Right there, she caught me with her toenail.
Oh, okay. All right. Another thing, Ken, I guess that I'm really having an issue with is I can't understand how you could have driven down there, you could have seen this vehicle of a girl that you've known for about 10 years, that the only time you've ever met her, that's the vehicle she's been in, that she's been driving. You end up parking, you get out on foot, and you see her laying there. You see her, you described to us well enough to know that she's already deceased. There's no reason to do any life-saving measures, because you can tell her, I think in your words, her lips were purple, or no rise and fall in her chest, or whatever. But yet you still don't know who she is. That doesn't make sense to me.
You're talking about a matter of minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, from what you've described in your context with her, I guess I would have thought when you drove down Outer Drive and you saw there's Jennifer's vehicle, I would have think in the headlights you'd have noticed that when you were back a ways.
I mean, that's a common vehicle.
You've met with her at different places. Has there ever been a time that you've met Jennifer down there at the end of Outer Drive? Never have been down there? Always has been in a parking lot someplace else? Okay.
Public area.
She was from the city, Ken. It was better in a public spot. Why would she go down there? How would she even know that existed down there?
Don't know that either.
Why would she have told her family tonight that she was going to meet Ken?
I have no idea.
She
specifically
they knew
she called me.
They were expecting her home before anybody contacted them because she was late. But early in the evening, they knew where she went.
I don't know. I mean, she called me. I haven't spoken to her at all today.
She called you and left you a voicemail.
Correct. I returned her call and did not leave her a voicemail.
And she didn't answer.
No.
So her phone will show your call back to her as a missed call.
Sure.
It doesn't. It shows an answered call. It shows a missed call. You know how phone you go through the phones and there's received and there's sent and there's missed, and your call to her was a received call. Not a real long conversation, but obviously long enough to be a conversation.
I never spoke to her.
Received call.
So.
How many times did she call you this evening? Or last evening?
Just the once.
Just one time? And you?
There were, I mean, when Sean was playing with her phone, after we found her, he sent, evidently, I think there was one or two calls.
That was after you guys were out there?
Correct.
Okay.
Prior to that, that's just the once.
One call from you to her?
Yeah.
And one call from her to your phone? And she left you a voicemail?
Yeah.
And what was the content of that voicemail again?
Just said, hey, what's up? I'm passing through the area. If you got time to meet.
Didn't sound upset, didn't sound angry, didn't just, if you got time to meet. Ken, did you call her back and make a plan to meet?
No.
Why would she have told family that she was going to meet you this evening?
I don't know.
And then the two of you end up down there?
I can't answer that now. I don't know.
It's just weird.
I agree with you. But I guess now, I guess her letter makes a little more sense, but.
Her what?
Her letter.
What do you mean?
About the married man part.
Oh, and the note.
She was talking about me.
Okay.
I have no idea why she would say something
I
like
don't think she named you in the letter.
I don't recall seeing my name in the letter, but.
Okay.
She didn't say, please, Keeler.
Where's your uniform you were wearing when you worked?
It's in the car.
Can we have that before you go?
Sure.
It's in the patrol car?
No, it's in my vehicle.
Oh, your personal vehicle?
Yeah, take it off, wash it.
Someone laundry.
Sometimes I send them out, but I usually don't at home.
Okay. You don't have a problem with us taking a look at that?
Right now.
The patrol car you were driving tonight, where is it?
Parked in its normal spot.
Okay. Has it gone back out on the day shift yet?
No.
Or is it like an assigned car? I mean, are you the only one that drives?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know if you guys were short of cars or.
No, they got plenty of cars now, so.
Got assigned cars, so it's.
For the most part, there's a couple people that double up.
Yeah, but for the most part, that car number. is-
Sorry, this is unfortunate.
Drives it.
Hmm.
Okay. Did you notice when you were down there at the end of Outer Drive with her there, any injuries to her? Other injuries of any kind? Anything stand out? I mean, you described this cord, but did you notice any injuries? Did you look her over to see if she had any injuries, any?
Just briefly with Sergeant Waterman, we did, as close as we could without falling into the ditch.
And I haven't seen her, so I don't know. I'm just wondering, did you see anything?
No, I didn't.
No signs of any
Huh.
injuries of any kind?
No, because we went, when Sean was doing his MESI stuff, we went back to the body to check, to get, to go over head to toe.
And where was the body at that point?
Still in its original position.
Oh, partially down the embankment? Okay.
It wasn't moved until, to the best of my knowledge, until, the funeral home got there.
And you were already gone?
I was gone by that time.
So the only time you saw the body was in that position during the bank. When Sean was doing his MESI stuff, did you touch the body in any way?
No.
No? You were never that close, or?
No.
Okay, how close would you have ever gotten to, at any point?
Within a couple of feet,
Okay.
3 feet, 4 feet, something like that. I mean, given the position of the body and the slope
Mm-hmm.
that was there,
What was the cord thing that was around her neck? What was it?
I don't know, it looked like an electrical cord,
Some kind of a, like extension cord type thing? You remember what color it was?
dark.
Okay, not bright orange or anything like that, is it? Okay, that seems to be a pretty common color. Did you touch the cord? Don't sound like you're ever that close.
No, I took photos of it.
Okay, and did anybody else take photos other than you?
Once I took the initial photos and we got back here, Sean took the camera from that camera that had the photos on it from me, and I haven't seen it since.
Oh, okay, so as far as you know at the scene, you took all the scene photos unless Sean took some after you were
Correct.
gone? Okay. But then once you got back here, that would have been, was Sean back here before they removed the body in the vehicle and all of that?
No, that was after.
Okay, all right.
Had she ever been in your patrol car?
No.
You ever been in her car?
Maybe once or twice.
Okay, and what was that about?
Just sitting in the passenger seat talking.
While you're on duty?
Yeah.
You're always single man patrol?
Yes. Most of the time, unless we're working some kind of special assignment.
Anybody ever with you when you met with her?
No.
Did you ever have any physical contact with her?
As far as like hands-on,
Yeah,
maybe an occasional hug.
Okay. What was the context there?
Just friendly hug. Hey, good seeing you.
How long ago was the last time that happened?
Good
I
time.
mean, the other day,
No.
weeks, months?
Months.
We have to cover all bases here, Ken, and, and some of it, we'll go back and we gotta look at some things. We just wanna make sure that we don't get any surprises.
I don't know.
And you know the deal.
Yeah.
And I think you can understand why some of the questions that I asked them, because they do, some things look a little unusual.
I completely understand that. I guess I don't like feeling like a suspect, but
Well, and it's, a lot of times, it's more about
it's getting to the bottom of it.
attorney and kind of heading things off before they get there, answering questions before they're asked, I guess is a good way to put it. And unfortunately, you're the only guy that can answer some of those questions. I mean, you're first on scene. at this car where this gal's never been before, that you're aware of, probably has never been before in her life, doesn't even know where it's at. It's not a dispatch call. You just happen upon it because you happen to be in the area and you happen to know her and you happen to be the first one on the scene.
Well, sure. I mean, I get it, guys. I mean,
and there was a period there that people couldn't get a hold of you, and then we have this situation with the family who knows who you are, knows you as the father of their soon-to-be grandchild.
And I have no idea who her family is.
She's supposed to meet with you tonight.
Yeah, that's
I have no idea why. I don't know why she would have said that. Unless she said, hey, I'm going to call him. I don't know. I mean, I know she called me.
Yeah, they straight up with it. I knew she was going to you.
And then
And they knew you by name and occupation and where you worked to be the father, as Jason said, the father of their grandchild that's soon to be delivered.
I have no idea why she would say that. I mean, that's unsettling.
They also knew that she had plans to be in contact right away with a friend of the club related to her child. They were aware of that.
And then we look at this suicide note that you found that's typed. And you know what that means as a former detective. Doesn't mean much, does it?
Yeah.
And it doesn't fit right, especially with how many females you ever know that hang themselves.
I hear you.
And we can't help but think that something went terribly wrong here tonight. There was a discussion, there was a conversation, and it just got out of hand for whatever reason, and something went terribly wrong here tonight.
And I can tell you that didn't happen. Something went terribly wrong with her. That was no part of it.
And Ken, we're gonna have to go through the whole thing: cell phone records, text records, email accounts, computers. We'll get video from all the places you were patrolling tonight, and that'll help us establish a timeline, which will be good. We'll get the dispatch records and figure out where you were and when. Do you have an AVL in your car?
What the hell is an AVL?
Okay, apparently not.
It's a little thing the chief puts in so he knows, he can always tell where you were and when you were there.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
So, these things, I'm just telling you, and you I'm sure know this, they're not going to be a surprise to you. Those are things that we got to do. But again, it comes back to, don't let us get surprised here.
Yeah.
Because
if there's something that we are going to find, it would benefit all three of us here to know that right now. I mean, now is the time to deal with some of those embarrassing things. Now is the time to deal with some of those surprises if we can.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
What you got is what I got.
Okay.
Did she ever talk to you about being abused by anybody? Did she ever talk about being in a car accident or anything like that? She's got some other injuries, Ken.
Yes, sir.
And again, maybe it's just coincidence, but you've got some injuries too that you have no witnesses for.
You're right. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean,
Ken, the biggest thing is, just tell the truth.
I know.
Okay, regardless of anything else, just tell the truth. I'm sure you've told other people that. Because the truth will always manifest itself in one way or another at some time or another.
That's correct.
Okay, so just make sure there's nothing that we don't need to know now. We're not going to try and pull all the tricks on you and all that shit. it doesn't do us any good. You know where you're sitting. You know how all this stuff works. So that's a call you're going to have to make. We're not going to try and do Yoda Jedi mind trick bullshit. You know that it'd be foolish for us to, because you're going to see right through it. You use those same tricks yourself.
Well, and you guys are doing it now, so.
Yeah, to some degree. It's hard not to. You know, you get in the habit.
Right.
After 20-some years of, but I think that should tell you something about us too, in that obviously you can tell that we're pretty uncomfortable about that, because as cops, we're thinking one thing. As police officers, and a guy that, I don't know how much Al's worked with you, but I met you years ago, don't really remember you, but I know I never had a bad impression. You certainly don't have a bad reputation around here, around this county, around this city. So, here, a guy like me and Al struggling with this right now, because we're looking at one of our own sitting here and going, motherfucker, how do you talk to a guy about this? And I'm sure you saw it coming, but.
Well, once I realized I knew her, okay, bring it on. It's gonna happen, so.
Okay. But there's a lot of things that have come up already that, they're flags, brother. They're flags.
I know. And I don't know why she would have said something like that. I don't know why she would say that I was the father of her child. I don't get that. That totally dumbfounds me.
Well, and maybe you aren't the biological father, but have you talked about trying to help her out or trying to support her or anything?
I told her on many occasions that I would always be there for her. That she never told me how or when or who she got pregnant with. I don't know anything about that. But she's a friend of mine, and I would help her out in any way that I could, just like I would help anybody in this building out in any way that I could, male, female, or dog. It didn't matter. They are a friend of mine. I keep my friends close.
Well, and it sounds like she's pretty infatuated with you. And look at it. You don't know what she does. She's hanging out at the bar, and she's got a young strapping lad who's a cop that's befriending her. Is it a meal ticket? Is it something where she's just infatuated with you and wants you to be the father?
I don't know. I wouldn't think after 10 years that it would be a meal ticket. We've never gone out on dates. I've never bought her gifts. And vice versa. She's never done that for me either. I don't know why she would say something like that.
She ever asked you to leave your wife for her?
No.
Ever even hint about it?
No, never.
Did she know you were married?
Yeah, absolutely. She knew I had a son.
It's clear you guys had a pretty close relationship.
We talked a lot.
Personal stuff.
Ken, you said you had told her you'd help her out. Did you ever tell her that you'd help her financially with the child?
I told her if I could, I would. I knew she was struggling. She's not making a lot at whatever job she was doing. She wasn't making a lot. So, if a friend came to you and asked you, hey, I need some help, that's kind of was the impression that I was getting. That, if she needed help, I would help her.
What's your wife do, Ken, for just?
Yeah, not even close.
But you're willing to help this gal out that you just know from talking to once in a while?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a friend of mine.
But a friend, it's a close enough friend that you want to help her out with money, but you don't recognize her car or her body laying there in the grass.
Like I said, it wasn't that I didn't recognize her. It was just there were other things going on that were taking precedence over that, and as it started to come around, it all made sense. Then it all started to fall into place, and yes, it was her. And like I said, we're talking a matter of minutes, not 10. We're talking 1-2 minutes, enough time to be able to do what we had to do. And I didn't really look that closely at her. I mean, I looked at her lips. I saw that her lips were blue. I went down to the chest. It was almost robotic in fashion because that's just how I perform my job. Mm-hmm. You know, when I do my job and I do death, it's a very systematic approach. I've done a lot of death. You know, I've done a lot of cases involving death. First thing I do is I look for signs of life. There were no signs of life. Okay, go to the vehicle and find out what's there. And that's what I did. You know, take your photos, get everything the way it was when you found it, and move on. And just, I mean, that's how I approach everything in this job. I mean, that's just what I do. It's how I was trained to do it. So that's what I did.
How'd you feel when you realized who it was?
I about threw up. It made me sick to my stomach. I mean, literally, I had to walk away at that point. I was just like, oh my God, this is somebody that I know. And it's not somebody that just because I've worked out here for 14 years that I know, it's somebody that I know personally. You know, you know, you walk into your friend's house and you find your friend, you know, laying on the floor dead of a gunshot. I mean, it's one of those, oh my God. I mean.
Sure, but I think I would recognize my friend laying on the floor with a gunshot.
And again, from the distance that I was at, yeah. I mean, subconsciously, did I recognize it? Probably. I can't say that I didn't. I know the approach that I took and the method that I took in doing what we had to do to get the scene locked out.
Was she pretty distraught about being pregnant and not knowing who the dad was?
We didn't really talk that much about it, but I think it bothered her. I mean, I kind of left that alone. It wasn't an area that I wanted to delve in. I knew she told me she was pregnant. I would ask how she was doing. I would ask how the baby was doing. We had a couple of conversations about, you know, I'm struggling with not having a house and living with my folks and yada, yada, yada. And I said, if you needed help, just ask. Just ask if you need help.
So she never told you the guy's name?
No.
You never asked?
I never asked.
So because you didn't want to know?
I always said it wasn't my business. It was hers.
What do you think your wife would say about this relationship you've had with Jenny?
She knows.
She knows.
I mean, she knows that I talk to her. She knows that we're friends. You know, I mean, obviously there are rules and there are boundaries. She has male friends that she speaks with, and I have female friends that I speak with. You know, it's not like, you know, I mean, it's not a secret there. She knows.
Okay.
She knows specifically about Jennifer, or she just knows you got friends? I mean,
no, she knows her name.
Oh, okay.
You guys don't have in-car video, right?
No.
None of your cars?
No.
Who's your cell phone provider?
Mine?
Yeah.
Right.
How long have you had that contract?
Year and a half.
Do you have any other cell phones?
There's 2 others on the plan. My wife's and my son's.
Oh, all on one family plan, anything?
What about any other cell phones or any cell phone contracts? You got a track phone or anything like that? Okay. Do you have email accounts, Ken?
Yes.
What's your email addresses?
Here at home.
Both.
It's Kenneth Bluew at bbct.org.
Okay.
And my home is
Do you and Jenny ever fight?
no.
Even arguments?
No.
Do you think this is a suicide?
I don't have anything else to think. I mean,
Do you know of anybody that would want to do her harm?
no.
I know you said your wife knows about her. Is she okay with this, or does she have some issues with it?
I don't know if she has any issues with it. I mean, to say that she likes it, I would say is probably a stretch, but because she doesn't know who she is. I mean, she knows her name. She knows that we talk, but have they ever met? No, they haven't. I mean, it's just, I don't know, you're not supposed to do that.
Right.
You don't bring that, you don't bring a casual friend into your home like that. I mean, then, she's not a neighbor that we frequently hang out with or anything like that.
So would she have any reason to hurt her?
My wife?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. Excuse me just a second, Ken.
Loud fuckers down there.
What do you think I ought to do here, Ken? What would you do?
Do your job. I mean, it's got to be investigated. I mean, if there's any way around it.
And it's just, painting that picture, I'm sure you would agree, shit is just fucked up, quite frankly. And it doesn't look real good. So I have to, not just, from the criminal investigation side, but I want to make sure that you're square too, if that's the case. As long as you tell me the truth, all this stuff will check out and we'll be fine. And it's covering you too, you know that.
Yeah.
But again, man, don't put us in a position where something bites us.
Right. Right, I'm with you.
Because it won't be just us. I mean, it'll be everybody at this department, be everybody in Saginaw area that you work with.
Right.
It'll be smacking them in the face.
Right. You know, I get it. You know, I was sitting here, you guys leave the room, and I'm sitting here thinking, why on earth would she say that? And I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for that. I mean,
Especially to go so far as to tell the family that.
right. I don't get it. I
You know,
don't.
is it something where she wanted to be with you so bad that if she can't have you and can't have her family, that she's going to end it?
I don't know. If it was, she's never said anything like that to me. She's never given me that impression. She's never, you know, she's never come out and said, you know, if she wants me to leave my wife for her, if she wants to have a relationship with me, that she wants anything. I mean, she's never said any of that to me.
Was she mental?
Not that I know of.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it. I mean, the way you were talking about her,
Right.
you know, she's pretty...
She seemed like she had her head screwed on straight. I mean,
sucks.
tell me about it.
I mean, it's shitty enough for anybody, but especially when it's somebody you know.
Yeah. And then, you know, I know it has to happen. Just, you know, sitting here going through this and, you know, feeling like I'm the one, you know, being accused of doing something to her.
Yeah. And I don't want to go that far to actually say those words. You know that, because it's not comfortable for me.
Right, but it's there.
With all that shit that we just talked about, man, it just fucking stinks. Fucking stinks. There's no other way to say it. And it sucks, man. I don't like being in this position.
You and me both.
But I can appreciate that, because I don't know how I would feel if I was in your shoes right now. I feel for it. I do.
That just totally, and one, doesn't seem like her, and two, if it is her, then boy, does she really smell meat, because I never saw that side. I never would have expected that from her.
I just went out to get camera. We're going to take some pictures of your arm and your eye real quick. I came from home. I don't even have all my shit here, so yeah, go grab that shit. So I didn't have anything. Fortunately, I had a pad of paper, but I knew something was up tonight. I couldn't sleep tonight. And that's unusual for me. I lay there in bed tonight going, fuck's going on? I cannot sleep. And the funny thing was, I was thinking about work tonight. I ain't got shit going on at work that's any fun.
Right.
I'm doing fucking open meetings acts and township board violations and shit like that. You know, real exciting. So it's not like I was thinking about anything important, but it was all about work. Then I get, if I can only get my girls a couple nights during the week. Of course, tonight was one of them, so I got to get them up and take them to their mom's house. You got to work again tonight?
No, I'm off. Actually took the weekend off. I don't come back until Wednesday.
Good. Shit, it's holiday weekend, isn't it? Forgot about that. Uncle Rick gives us the day off on Monday. That'll be good. And then they go Walmart to buy a camera. Sorry about my girl black. I'll the camera. You did? A minute to figure out how to put it together. Uh-oh. Have you used one of these kinds before?
Not that bad.
No, I haven't either.
Tim, we need to get it, Jason probably told you, need to get a buckle swab from you?
No, but I know what it is.
Yeah. Well, you know what, that's the best we got, Jason, if you want to use that. And I need to take some pictures.
Got some more if you...
Yeah, I got some in my car.
Ken, do you know the year, make of your vehicle?
It's an 04 Dodge.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Ram.
Okay. You wouldn't have to know your plate, would you?
I think it's PCN 2015.
Have it figured out?
I'm not promising anything.
Excuse me.
try this again.
Okay with the flash?
Yeah, you think it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got one.
Have your head in there.
Scratch there.
You know what that's from, Jim?
I can't see back there, I don't know what you're talking about. I have,
Right.
Just a little bit of a mark on your skull.
probably one of the damn mosquitoes that were up there.
Ken, like we asked before about getting your uniforms for you, because they're out in your truck, I'm gonna ask for consent to go get them out of your truck. And then also, buckle swab.
Why don't you turn it this way?
And what I did here is, yeah, I'll go to- we didn't have the right consent form, so what I did was, this one is for blood. I just crossed out blood withdrawn by a doctor, nurse, medical technician, throw in DNA obtained by Michigan State Police via buckle swab. And then another one is the trucks, straightforward. Cross that one out. Cross that one out. What color is your pickup?
Sound great.
Extended cab, four-door?
It's a four-door extended cab.
Obviously, you've seen this kind of thing before, and I just need you to print, sign, and put the time down, and I'll have Al sign it. And obviously, you're under no obligation to do so. You know what your rights are. Just simply asking for your consent.
Why is it that I'm feeling more and more like a suspect every time? Every minute I pass by here.
Well, we've kind of discussed the issues, and we've talked about what we're seeing and what we're thinking, and I think you can understand, we've got to do what we've got to do. We've got to do this investigation. And sort it all out. Answer as many questions as we can. No different than any investigation that you've done, many of them in your career. It's got to answer as many of the questions that are out there as can be answered, and that's what we're trying to do. Answer as many of those questions as we can answer. And our hope is at the end that everything is good. All Are you uncomfortable giving the consent? Are you unsure if you want to do that?
I'm just uncomfortable with the whole thing, I mean.
Well, and I understand that, we both understand that. And I can tell you that sitting on this side of the table, for me, it's very uncomfortable for me too.
Sit here and to know that you've not done anything wrong, but still feeling like you did.
Sure, that's a tough spot. But, as we discussed before too, the truth will manifest itself at some point or in one fashion or another. And like you said, you don't have any concerns here, so.
I can tell you one thing, though, guys. I did, in fact, sleep with her. It was a while ago, but I can't say that she ever told me that her baby, or this baby was mine.
How long ago was it? Was the timing right that it could be?
I don't know. I don't even remember. I mean, it was...
So it's our understanding from what we've been told that she's about 8 months pregnant. Puts us back around the first of the year, January-ish.
Guess I never really did the math on it, but yeah, I suppose it could be. I suppose it could be about that time. So, if this baby is mine, wow.
You don't see us jumping up and down, do you?
No,
But, as we discussed before, Karen,
now it went from bad to worse, guys, I know.
well, it didn't go from bad to worse because you're answering a question and getting out ahead of something that we were going to find out anyway, right?
I don't know if it is or not, I mean...
But if there's a possibility, that's what we wanted to know. That's
I know
important
that
that we know it's possible.
I know that we used a condom, I know that she said she was on the pill.
B-L-E-U-E-W.
I guess I just didn't come out with it in the beginning because, my wife and...
We understand that, Ken, we understand that. I think I told you before, that's a very sensitive situation, and we understand that.
Something on my head, too.
Just a little bit of a scrape or something, right on the edge of your hairline there.
They're mosquito bites.
Need something to eat.
You didn't have breakfast this morning?
Yeah, I still gotta put,
Environment 810?
yes, plate and info on there. talk to you about the possibility that that was your child?
And not really. I mean,
Tell me what not really.
she kind of hinted at it, and I said, Jen, I was how it's possible. I said, you were on the bill, and I used the condom. And she said, so I'm saying is it's possible. I said, okay, fine. It's possible, it's possible.
Did that concern you?
Yeah. Of course it concerns me. But, you know, at that point, the deed was done. What are you going to do about it? I mean,
When did you have that conversation with her?
a few months ago.
So she was well into it by then?
Yeah.
She asked for a paternity test or anything?
No.
She hadn't mentioned anything about that? Had she mentioned anything about friend of court? To you?
I think, yeah, she did once. She said something about, you know, she was going to have to go and how did she phrase it? She said, from the people that she's talked to, she's got to give them a list of 5 people that she slept with who could potentially be fathers, and, you know, they would then have to be contacted, and I presume vocal swabs and DNA tests done to prove who the father was, type of thing. But did she come out and say that she was going to come after me for child support? No.
When she talked about having to submit a list of 5 names, did she indicate you were going to be one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to be on the list?
Yeah.
So, if that had all gone through and you are the father, it would have been determined through that, obviously.
Sure.
And you said earlier that your wife was aware of your friendship with Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Was she aware of any of this other stuff?
No, she wasn't. You know, many years ago, I had an affair that we worked through, and, you know, things have been much better. And I don't know, it was one of those things where it just kind of happened, and as cliche as it sounds, that's kind of what happened. I don't remember the condom breaking. You know,
Where was that?
that was on my personal time.
At her house, or? Okay.
You know, we met in the park.
Did the condom break?
I don't know. I don't think it did. It didn't seem like it did when I removed it, but who knows?
Did your conversations with Jennifer about the father of the child ever get into other possibilities? I mean, did
As far as names.
But I guess, I mean, she would know whether there's other possibilities of being the father or not. Did she ever talk about that?
She said I wasn't the only one.
Okay.
But she didn't tell me who. She didn't give me names of other guys that she slept with.
But she didn't say that it can't be anybody but you, Ken. Okay.
And I apologize for that. I should have said it up front, but
Well, I'm sure, Ken, that you can appreciate that. The bigger problem is, big deal, you slept with her. Okay. The bigger problem is now, what am I supposed to believe?
now it looks like I killed her. And all I can tell you is I didn't. I didn't have anything to do with it.
But again, don't let something come up and bite that part, I don't want to say easy, because it was uncomfortable, but it's small potatoes. But if there's something else that we need to know, now's the time.
You got it. I mean, have I been in her truck? Yep, been in her truck. Told you that. Yeah. Have we had sex? Yep. Is it my baby? I don't know. Still telling me that. From that point on, everything you've got is what happened.
Is there going to be anything on your uniform, on your clothes, that's going to mean anything one way or the other in this? Is she going to have any other unusual injuries that need to be explained?
Al, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Let me see your arm again. You know what that looks like? Well, if I were to grab you with my fingernails, what would I leave? Is there any possibility that her fingernails are going to have any DNA underneath them?
That's all right, I know. I mean,
I don't know.
I wasn't there.
Okay, all right. I just, those red marks, they look like they could be finger marks. And that's one of the things that autopsy they're going to do is scrape all of her nails and check all of that stuff. It's just, Ken, that, I told you before, my hope is, you and I have now worked together a lot. We've had some association. It's always been good. I hope this association ends up good. I truly do. But we've got to do our job. We've got to do a thorough investigation on this. We've got to answer just as many questions as we can answer about this. And I hope it all ends up good. But we're going to dot all of the I's and cross all the T's as we go through this. So,
yeah.
There's really not much of anything that we can't try real hard to deal with if we know about it up front, if we know about it ahead of time.
I understand.
Like Jason said, the issue about you having slept with her is, in the scope of possibilities here, pretty minor.
It's one of those things that if we get out in front of it, we can make it a non-issue. But if it's something that comes up that shows deception, then it just casts bad light on everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't truthful, and I'm sorry.
Is there anything else we've talked about that you haven't been truthful about?
No.
If at some point in this investigation we felt that it was necessary to have you take a polygraph related to some additional issues, would you be willing to do that? What would that show us?
Hopefully I'm telling you the truth. I aired my dirty laundry.
What should I ask you on the polygraph, Ken?
You ask me whatever you want to ask me.
I'm asking
What would you ask?
The easiest way to clear all doubt about anything.
Did you sleep with her? Yep. Did you kill her? No.
Anything else?
Did you meet her tonight down at the end of Outer Drive?
No.
Did you have a phone conversation with her tonight and agree to meet somewhere?
We attempted to have a phone conversation.
Is it possible you are the father of that child?
Well, I slept with her, so yeah, I'd say it's probably possible.
Do you have any questions for us right now, Ken? We want to go out right now and take a look at your vehicle.
Yeah.
Is it locked up? These keys to it here? Can I take them?
Can I go with you? Because my gun's in the truck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
place for these in the squad room, right?
Yeah, there's out by the back door.